Mr. Investor, welcome back to the channel, baby. You're going to like the video today. Please remember it's for entertainment only and not financial advice. Today we're going to go back through some emails, and I wanted to show you some updates as well. So I spoke to Adam Smith from Toronto, utilizing the Sapphire system. He is a BioNano Genomics customer. Did manage to speak as well to a BioNano Genomics customer who's utilizing the Sapphire system for dementia, Alzheimer's. Very interesting. BioNano Genomics is also reaching different parts of Europe right now with the Sapphire system. It's becoming available across Europe, and in London as well. There's jobs popping up where they require people to use optical genome mapping, the Sapphire system. So I hope you find this valuable and entertaining. I'm going to keep this video simple, and I'll try to keep it under 10 minutes so you can get, through the whole video, because some people, they said after 10 minutes, they just kind of fall asleep, even though it's good, valuable, entertaining information. First things first, in the last video I showed you that there was gene editing based medicines. So AstraZeneca is actually utilizing optical genome mapping to look at drug development, and they want to make sure that they understand the safety risks during the developmental stage for some of these new CRISPR techniques. They're doing loads of gene therapies at the moment. So Samaya is actually the person who is handling this, and one of the statements here said, thereby proving that OGM is highly sensitive and can detect rare and complex DNA structural variants which would have been missed otherwise. So they're finding it useful. I sent her a tweet and I wanted to know, are they going to put this as part of their routine workflow within building these medications, building these genetic genome editing based medicines? Are they going to utilize optical genome mapping regularly? And if this pharmaceutical company is doing it, what if other ones will also do it? Because some of these, this is a multi-billion company. What if Pfizer starts doing it as well, and Moderna? In the last video I also showed you that there's a big optical genome mapping meeting. So this was all about optical genome mapping, and it had packed rooms over in Czech in Europe. We started to see some tweets here stating that the Sapphire system, BioNano Genomics Sapphire system, adds a new dimension to genome mapping. This technology is currently in service in Turkey, hence the BioNano Genomics Instagram Turkey page, which has been around for a while, but now we've seen a tweet about it. To Adam Smith, he's the director of the Cancer Cytogenetics Laboratory at the University Health Network, a network of hospitals based in Toronto, and they provide these lab services particularly for blood cancers. Now, he was pictured in Spain giving an outstanding presentation, thank you Dr. Adam Smith, on OGM at the Symposium of Spanish Group on Hematological Cytogenetics in Lleida. So now I've been emailing him back and forth, and I just wanted to know about the run rates, what he's currently utilizing the Sapphire system for, and what he predicts will be the run rate of the flow cells in the future. I also asked him about a time frame for adoption, because this guy's a key leader in the industry for blood cancers, and he's also got a $2 million research fund awarded to him to actually explore and develop optical genome mapping to improve diagnostic testing. He stated that they're currently using 500 Sapphire chips per year, but they're also developing applications for lymphoid tumors, including multiple myeloma. He got this $2 million Grand Challenge grant recently to support the development of OGM for use in myeloma. It's going to add additional samples of 300 to 500 samples per year. And in terms of genomes, they feel they're going to run 2,000 to 2,500 genomes per year on optical genome mapping. So I wanted to ask him the costs. Canada, he stated that they're currently at $400 per genome. And he said that there's about 20 to 30 cytogenetic labs in Canada, and many are or have purchased Sapphires. There's at least 10 Sapphire systems installed in diagnostic labs in Canada right now, and he thinks that most of those cytogenetic labs will go over to OGM over the next 2 years. Now, he also stated something interesting about Europe, America as well. And he also said that he's going to upgrade, hopefully in 2024, to the new Sapphire system, or the upgraded high throughput Sapphire system called the Stratus. Right now, they have 2 Sapphires, and they have sufficient capacity with those 2 Sapphires, but upgrading makes a lot of sense, he said. Now, I wanted to ask him, what are the barriers to adoption and stuff like that? So he said some of the barriers to adoption, is the cost. He doesn't know if the cost will get down to $100 a pop, but if it does, widespread adoption, it will help a lot. Even $250 though would make a huge difference for adoption. And the problem with adoption outside the US always questions about variable currency exchange rates and the markups by intermediaries and custom import barriers. So the lower the cost per genome, the better. And he thinks, this is important, he thinks that Canada, US and Europe will have adoption and it will be speedy. So he thinks it will happen within the next 18 to 24 months. We'll have widespread adoption in those places. He said cytogenetics people are really excited about it. optical genome mapping. Over in Spain, I wanted to ask him about it, and he said he doesn't know exactly how they're funding it. He doesn't know what their volumes will be, but the interest is there. They're really embracing optical genome mapping. So when he done the presentation on the 1st of June, at that meeting, there are about half a dozen other local presentations on optical genome mapping. So Spain is definitely out ahead. And he states that optical genome mapping might be useful in some settings. I think we'll see more adoption and use cases, especially as the price drops. Africa as well, they're excited to reshare just the publication of the utility of combining optical genome mapping and the 523 gene next generation sequencing panel. So this guy is from regulatory affairs, oncology, clinical research, genetic toxicology, cancer cytogenetics, and this guy is from South Africa, from the city of Johannesburg, and he is bullish and is excited about optical genome mapping. For me, I decided I want to go a step further. I want to keep emailing some of these BioNano Genomics customers to just see their thoughts and feelings on optical genome mapping. One of them was a Dr. Mark Ebert. So he's been he's been researching into Alzheimer's disease for a few years, a long time, and he received in 2021, well, the University of Kentucky received $14.5 million, right? This will allow them to remain the leaders in Alzheimer's disease research and associated neurodegenerative disorders. These guys are always ahead of the game. They're always trying to figure out how they can solve the mystery of Alzheimer's, like how do they get it, and will they be able to create a diagnostic tool? So I told him, my name is Miguel, I'm a dementia nurse, I make content on optical genome mapping, wondering how your research has been going with long-range technology for Alzheimer's. Is optical genome mapping useful? Any correlation between large structural variants and developing dementia-related diseases? Do you think we'll ever be able to create an optical genome mapping-based pre-symptomatic screening tool for dementia? So I said screening tool, right? And this gentleman, Dr. Mark T. Ebert, said, "Good morning, Miguel. I'm well. Hope you're well too." And in short, the progress has been much slower than we hoped, but we're still working on it. Lots of work to do before we get to a pre-symptomatic diagnostic. But I am convinced it's possible. They believe they can do it. They're still working at it. If they're able to do this, yeah, optical genome mapping, a pre-symptomatic diagnostic. So before people develop Alzheimer's, you know, they'll be able to diagnose it before they develop symptoms. So there could be so many different therapies that could spin off the back of this. Could they develop, you know, gene therapy? Could they develop a type of medication that will slow the progress so people won't develop, you know, Alzheimer's until very, very late stage? You know, some people, they develop it in their 60s, they develop it in their 70s, and then you see the slow, or actually it's quite rapid for some people. Some people it's slow, like progression of them just losing function in terms of memory, and then eventually they forget to eat, disorientated. So yeah, it will help so many people. And in terms of Alzheimer's, it's a big thing. 2020, the kind of umbrella term of dementia, it said that there's over 55 million people worldwide living with dementia in 2020, but they expect the number will almost double every 20 years, and they believe it will reach 78 million people in 2030. Develop this. Can you imagine how many people it's going to help and benefit? And you know, on the other side of things, in terms of BioNano Genomics and making money, how many flow cells, how many chips they're going to be using if they have this pre-symptomatic diagnostic tool. Moving forward, very interesting here. I like these guys. Look at this, Elon's fan. Set up a free consultation with them. Love it. So this is a genetic counselor. She is actually interested in BioNano Genomics optical genome mapping. So she's wondering if there's any clinical labs around her area and wonders if, you know, insurance is covering this testing. She's just heard about this and she's curious to see if it's offered clinically or just via research. And I had to press like. Thank you, Elon's fan. As you guys know, it's not just Alzheimer's that's being looked at as well, but they might be utilizing the Sapphire system optical genome mapping system at Stanford for Parkinson's also. So I think there's about 10 million people with Parkinson's worldwide, and it will continue increasing, but they're looking for, you know, unraveling the causes of neurodegeneration. And Birgit Shuley, I sent her an email as well. Hopefully she'll get back to me, but making a difference. She's doing Parkinson's disease research. Yet there's around 10 million people affected by the condition worldwide. Moving forward, I just wanted you to show this. Remember Joe Butler, the best UK sales manager ever for BioNano Genomics? This guy has stated, he said, you know, in his opinion, optical genome mapping will find massive genetic rearrangements that cause cancer that other technologies miss. He noticed the rest is about scalability and throughput and costs. He bought his shares at an average of $8 and he's not selling. So yeah, it's nice to see that, you know, he's still holding his shares. He really likes the tech. A few previous tweets he can say the tech is solid, the market is another story. He loved working for BioNano Genomics and he's still got friends there. A previous tweet as well said he's still holding first-hand experience talking to clinicians that said the tech is the holy grail, no lies. Conversation came on from Dayo's tweet, and this whole conversation came from Dayo's tweet. So thank you very much, Dayo. I've dropped some more emails to Dr. Mark Ebbett. I hope he gets back to me so we can see about dementia. And I really think, you know, if this guy manages to do this, it will be revolutionary. At the moment, there are a lot of publications coming out about, you know, large genetic changes that contribute to dementia risk. And as you can see here, this is the National Institute of Health researchers who have published this. For these other types of dementia, you know, dementia is an umbrella term. For Lewy bodies dementia and frontotemporal dementia, they discovered several structural variants that could be risk factors for them. These guys could really benefit from using a Sapphire system. This is what one of them said. If you imagine that our entire genetic code is a book, a structural variant could be a paragraph, page, or even an entire chapter that has been removed, duplicated, or inserted in the wrong place. Yeah, so this is Sonia W. Scholes. She's an investigator in the neurogenetics branch of NINDS and senior author of the study. That certain genes like TCPN1 was found in samples from patients with the Lewy bodies disease or Lewy bodies dementia. Disease that, like Parkinson's, is associated with abnormal deposits of protein alpha-synucleic in the brain. My gosh, the dog is screaming. He's so excited because his favorite person's come home. I'm still trying to figure out why this insider buy happens. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's to stimulate, you know, more retail or other investors to come in. If they, you know, some people, if they see insider buying, sometimes it causes people to buy. It stimulates buying on the market when they see people buy at certain prices. So Hannah Mamuska is a board member. She bought 76 cents and she bought 65,789 shares. Cost base is $50,000. Now, obviously, the price is going to drop. There's a reverse split coming and they need to raise capital. So they're going to be diluting by selling shares on the open market. Still trying to figure out why she would buy now. Finally, there's some more studies from across the world. And these guys were coming out of University of Pennsylvania, describing this role of structural variants. So this was in 2023, 8th of February. The role of structural variations in Alzheimer's disease and other neurodegenerative diseases. Over in London, this is the last thing because I'm going to end this video. So it's nice, short and sweet. It wasn't under 10 minutes. I tried my best. But this is the Queen Mary University of London. And they've just posted a job posting. And it's hiring a genomics technician. In this role, you will run our genomics facility and provide technical expertise and hands-on support to our researchers. So inside their facility, they have a Prometheon, they have a Mini Ion, an Agilent Seahorse, XFE24 analyzer, and a Sapphire optical mapping system. As I hope you found this entertaining and valuable, this video. I'm going to continue emailing round to Sapphire system users because I think getting a customer's perspective is one of the best ways to understand the product and to see, you know, where the product can go, what is the current uses that they're utilizing it for, how much clinical utility does it have, is there any problems for it getting, you know, large scale adoption or for them to use up more flow cells, and what could help them, you know, in terms of probably costs coming down, but what else could help them adopt the system more and get it into the right places? In certain parts of the world, that's, you know, codes and reimbursement. In the UK, I heard it was like costs and throughput. So it was too expensive for some hospitals, they've said. So if it comes down in price, and if they bring in the new Sapphire system, the Stratus, so higher throughput machine, they can run more genomes, then it will fulfill the client's needs, the customer's needs. And yeah, you can also see, if you ask them, you know, how many Sapphire chips are you using annually? How many do you predict you'll be using in the next few years? You can then calculate. And if, you know, if it stays at $400 for a flow cell or $400 for a chip, and they're doing, you know, 2,500 genomes and the cost is $400 a genome, then you can see that they're making, or BioNano Genomics is making a gross of $1 million from that client, $1 million from that single client. And if they have multiple clients like that per year, and we build out and continue to find some of these laboratories that's going to be using more genomes, these kind of high throughput labs, then they can really start to focus on growing those revenues and hoping to reduce the cash burn and maybe start to creep towards, you know, being in a more stable financial position. If you found this video useful, if you can donate, please donate to my channel. I've got a PayPal link in my description box below. Even you joining the channel membership, which is only 99 cents a month, really helps out. And I appreciate you guys that have, you know, stood by my channel. Everybody that's ever donated or sent me money or Patreon, or someone sent me Bitcoin before as well. I really appreciate you guys. And all the nice comments you guys write, all the feedback you give me as well, information, the places you tell me where to look to and who to contact, and everybody that subscribed, supported the channel, you know, wish me well. I wish you all the best, and I hope you find this video valuable and entertaining. Please remember, it's not financial advice, for entertainment only, and I'm going to catch you in the next video when I have some updates. Mr. Invest a Lot, over and out, baby. Yeehaw.